Namaste, everyone. Namaste. I'm Kim Johnson of the Athletes Yoga. Namaste simply means the peace in me and the goodness in me and the light in me. See the peace, the goodness, and the light in you. It's also our way of welcoming you. And we'll also part ways with that simple word, namaste. So today we're just going to do a slow flow, some light stretching, just to get the body stimulated. We've all been so sedentary for the past year or so, and the bodies are starting to show that wear and tear, mainly through the shoulders, the back, the hips, even finger dexterity, neck issues, trap issues. I could go on and on and on, not to mention what's going on with the noodle, not to mention what's going on upstairs. So we'd like to help you reduce stress and reduce some of that stress by working through the body. There's a quote that I love that is, your issues lie in your tissues. So whatever is going on up here is also living in each one of your tissues in your body. So as we move and as we add the breath, we will expel and rid the body of that chief toxin, which is stress. So we'll start in an easy seat. It's called Savasana. Now I've got a little cushion here that I'd like to show you. Anytime you're sitting on anything, it could be anything. It could be a pillow, a blanket. If you have a yoga block, that's perfect as well to sit on. But anytime you have your hips raised higher than your knees, you will lessen some of that pain and discomfort in your knees. I shouldn't use the word pain because you don't ever want to have pain. There is no association with pain and yoga. Maybe discomfort. If you're uncomfortable, you can breathe through it. Anything that's painful, you want to come right out of that posture, even if it's as simple as this posture. But gently rest your hands at your knees. Have a tall seat. Have a long spine. Proper posture is your ears would be stacked over your shoulders would be stacked over your hips, and if we were standing, those hips would be stacked over our ankles. Try and relax and quiet down the shoulders, any stress that may live there. And maybe a slight tuck of your chin to elongate and lengthen the back of your neck. Gently close your eyes. And we'll start by taking some slow, deep, rhythmic breaths. Breathing in and out at your pace of breath, and everyone's pace of breath will be different. So these aren't the natural breaths that you usually take throughout the day. At this point, we want to start lengthening those breaths without necessarily regulating the breath. That's down the road as we introduced regulated breath. For now, let the belly be free as you take your inhales. And that same belly will draw towards spine as you take your exhales. Go ahead and take 2 or 3 more of these simple breaths as we begin to quiet down the central nervous system and prepare the body for our yoga practice. So we'll be on the mat for a half hour. But throughout the practice, please try and live as best you can here in the present moment. On this last breath, fill your lungs entirely and then hold the breath. And then exhale through the mouth with a long sigh. Let's go ahead and take one more of these. They're called cleansing breaths. Inhale fully. Pause. And empty with that cleansing breath. And then zip up the lips and resume that beautiful ebb and flow of the breath that you created. Those long, extended breaths. One more. Okay, let's move our way into our first posture, which is called child's pose or Savasana. Some of the words I use are Sanskrit. So I'll try to translate also into the English of the Sanskrit name. Anyway, child's pose. Toes are together, knees are spread wide, and you're sitting back into your heels, extending your arms as long toward the front wall as you can, and then collapsing the forehead onto the mat. So you want that third eye attachment, that space in between your eyebrows. Connect that with the mat so that we can get a sense of grounding. Again, preparing for our practice. A sense of centering. Continue on with your breathing. Deep, slow, nice rhythmic breaths. Mindfully. Bringing attention to the breath and now bringing attention to the physical body. Notice what your body has to say, even this early in your practice. You know, how are the hips? Do you feel it at this point? How is your low back? Even sometimes through the shoulders you're feeling this. The groins, the front of the ankles. It's different for every body. If this is too much flexion on your knees, just come out and go onto your backs. Eyes are closed. Lips are sealed. And continue on with your breathing for a few more rounds of breath as we begin to mildly, gently use gravity to open parts of the body. Just being still. One more breath. From here, keep your hips, keep your knees where they are, and walk your arms off the mat over to the right. Cross your left wrist over your right, and then fold the chest in between your arms. So just another variation of your child's pose. Try to stretch and lengthen that whole left side of your body. Expand your rib cage. You could walk your arms as far to the right as possible as you continue to pull your left hip over toward the left side wall. One more breath. On your next in-breath, walk both of your arms back to center. And on your next out-breath, arms go to the left, and now cross the right wrist over your left and fold the chest in between the arms. These nice lateral stretches are important. We've got breathing muscles located in between each one of the ribs, so we're trying to access those breathing muscles. Not only that, but you're creating length and space in the body. One more breath. The body loves length and space, particularly the spine. And then walk both of your arms forward again. Try to walk your fingers as far forward as possible as you send your glutes as far back as possible. One more breath. And as you inhale, come up to a neutral posture. So spread your fingers really wide here. Neutral posture looks like this. So I'm going to curl over to the side. Curling your toes under or flattening the tops of your feet. Either way is fine. You want a neutral spine. Pull your belly in towards spine. On your exhale, bring your spine up toward the ceiling. Tuck your chin toward your chest. This one's called cat pose. On your next inhale, come to cow pose. We're going to go back and forth, linking our breath with movement, cat pose. Inhale, come into cow. So in cat pose, you can imagine you're opening up and broadening your back. And on your inhale in cow, we're broadening the front space of the body. Two more like this. Really press down, root down into the floor to create that angry cat back. And as you inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin, stretch out even the throat here. One more. Exhale. And inhale. And then come back to neutral with your neutral spine. Take your right leg behind you and drop down to the balls of the foot. As you inhale, press forward with your toes. We're just going to rock back and forth. On your exhale, rock back into the heel. Couple more like this. Inhale, press forward with your toes. And exhale back into the heel. One more. Inhale forward. Exhale, press back. Your next inhale, lift your right leg to about hip height. So just hip height, flexing the right toes. And then take your left arm and reach it forward. This one's called spinal balance or bird dog. Take one more breath here. On your exhale, draw your elbow in toward your knee. Inhale. Arm goes forward, leg goes back. Two more. Exhale, elbow to knee, curl in nice and tight. And inhale, Arm forward, toes back. Last one. Exhale. Inhale. And lower your left hand down toward the floor. Release. Take your left leg, extend it back behind you, drop down to the balls of the foot, and then rock back and forth, pressing forward with the toes and back into the heel. 2 more. Inhale, you would project forward. Exhale, pull back in the heel. So here what we're doing is opening up the back space of that left leg along with your foot and your toes. And now on the next inhale, lift your left leg up to hip height. Take your right arm forward, set it up. Exhale, bring elbow into knee. Inhale, shoot forward and back with your fingers and your toes. Exhale. Inhale, last one. Breathe out to squeeze in. And breathe in to find all that expansion. And then release your arm, release your knee. Now we're going to stay curled over the toes, but now we're going to sit back into the heel. If you had any kind of knee injury, what you could do is take your blanket and put it in between your glutes and your heels. And that way you're not flexing the knee quite as bad. I do have an injury, so I do have to do it. Take your arms, extend them nice and wide, and then wrap your right arm underneath your left so your palms are pressing here. So while we're opening up those feet and the toes, try to breathe into the space in your feet and your toes. And if it's way too much, then just lift your glutes slightly away from your heels to alleviate some of that pressure. Now use your bandhas here. That's drawing navel towards spine. So zip up your navel, zip up the belly, and use the belly and your leg strength to lift your glutes away from your heels and lift up and take a little baby back bend. And then as we exhale, curl into a little ball, opening up the back of the body here. Inhale, lift the elbows up, come away from those heels. Exhale, round out, elbows tuck in toward the groins. 1 more. Inhale up. Exhale back. And then come back to a C. Extend the arms real wide. This time what we'll do is flatten the tops of the feet. So you're essentially sitting back onto your heels, but your toenails and your shoelaces are what rest on the mat. This time wrap your left arm underneath your right, palms join. Again, engage core here. Use your leg strength. And as you inhale, in other words, no momentum. Lift up the elbows, arc the back. On your exhale, really try to expand the upper back, the thoracic spine. Inhale, open up the front ribs. Exhale, squeeze tight. 1 more. Inhale. And take your exhale. Really breathe into the back of your body. And then coming back to neutral posture. Step your right leg forward here. So we're in a low lunge, but we're on the back knee. You could stay curled over the toes, or you could flatten the top of the foot. Just a few little rocking motions back and forth, but we're going to flex the right toes. So stay on your fingertips. It's called tenting your fingers. As you inhale, rock back and flex those right toes. You don't have to straighten out your right leg if your hamstrings are really tight. So we're rocking back and forth. The inhale will rock you back. The exhale will rock you forward. Keep your spine nice and long. Inhale, rock back. Exhale, rock forward. Now stay forward. So you're leaning forward and bring both of your hands to the top of that right knee. Now we're opening up the left psoas muscle. So sink forward, bringing your pelvis forward as far forward as you can. And once again, activate those bandhas, the belly lock. And as you inhale, rock back, even using the inner thighs to activate for your movement. Exhale, rock forward. 2 more. Inhale back nice and slow. Exhale, rock forward. So this is just a way of lubricating the joints, stirring some of that synovial fluid found in the joints. Stay forward, raise your arms nice and high, and then cactus your elbows, goalpost elbows, and lift up your chin. This is called high heart. Reach your arms toward the ceiling, take 2 more high hearts. Bend the elbows, pinch your elbows in toward one another. Inhale, raise your arms, 1 more. Exhale. Inhale, and then lower your arms alongside that right leg. Straighten out your back leg. We're in a low lunge. And now we're going to straighten out the front leg. This one's called pyramid pose. So your back leg is straight and your front leg is straight. On your exhale, forward fold. Inhale, peel the chest away from the front leg. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chest high, one more. Exhale. Inhale, bend again into the right knee and springboard forward with the right toes so the left toes meet your right. Halfway left into a long spine. And then as you exhale, forward fold. Separate your feet here now, hip width. Hip width marker is 2 fists in between your big toes. Take opposite hand to opposite elbow and we'll hang here in ragdoll. So just let the spine get long. Move the weight forward into your toes. These are called uttanasanas, forward folds. In all of our uttanasanas, your weight is moving forward out of the heels and in toward the balls of the feet. Let the arms be heavy, just like a rag doll. Let your neck be heavy. Let your head be heavy. Check in with your head and your neck. Yes and no your head. Be sure it's relaxed. Be sure you're not carrying any residual tension there. Take one more breath there. And release. Coming back onto our knees. And now we're going to step the left foot forward. The left side, here we go. So left foot goes forward, framing the leg with your fingertips. So lean forward again, pelvis, hips shifting forward. Rocking back and forth. Inhale, flexing the toes. Exhale, bending the knee. 2 more, nice and slow. Tracking knee over ankle here. Exhale, take a big bend into that front knee. 1 more, inhale. And exhale, stay forward, spine even longer. Hips further forward. This also gives you a nice stretch in the front of the right thigh. Bring both of your hands now to the front of that left leg. On your in-breath, rock just halfway back so your hips are stacked over your right knee. Exhale. Each time, try to go deeper. Lean further forward. Inhale back. Exhale forward. Moving slowly, but with purpose. Another. Inhale back. Exhale, come forward. Stay forward, but raise the arms up. Anytime you raise the arms up, you can go a bit deeper here. Makes the pose a bit more intense. Now bend those elbows, high heart. Reach the fingers toward the ceiling, 2 more. Bend, elbows tucked in, shoulder blades in toward one another. Reach your arms high, 1 more. Exhale. And then inhale, raise your arms. Frame now the left foot. Straighten out your back leg and your front leg. 3 times we'll forward fold over your left leg. Inhale, stretch the heart forward. Exhale, fold. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Big inhale. Get even longer in your spine. On this last one, fold even deeper. Inhale. Lift up the chest. Bend into your left knee. And spring forward with your right toes. Come to that half lift again. Now half lift, you can bring hands to shins or middle fingers on the mat where you can bend or soften your knees. Forward fold. Inhale, half left. Exhale, forward fold. 1 more. Half left. Take a big bow and then root down and rise to a stand. Sweeping your arms high, reaching up, and then hands rest at heart space. Interlace the fingers, press them down toward the mat. And then raise your arms back up. So you're spinning your pinky fingers back toward the back wall. Lengthen out the waistline and then lean off to the right as you look left. Now also try to straighten out your right arm along with your left arm, but also root your left foot in toward the mat as you pull your belly in nice and tight to protect your spine. On your inhale, grow taller, and on your exhale, lean off to the left. So you don't have to lean too far to the left in order to access the stretch in the right side body. Let's go back and forth. Inhale, you come to center. Exhale, lean over to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, lean over to the left. 1 more of these. Come to center. Exhale, go right. Center. And exhale, lean to your left. On your in-breath, come back to neutral. 3 more high hearts, really to open up the front space of the body. Reach the arms up, all that computer work. We're leaning forward. Reach your arms high, 1 more. Exhale. And inhale, and now sink to chair pose. Utkatasana, it's called. So you're just bending your knees and you're rocking your weight back into your heels in chair pose. And then on your exhale, take a forward fold. Take your halfway lift, spine long. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root down into the floor with your feet and rise high. Exhale, forward fold. 2 more, half lift. Bow. Rise. Last one here, forward fold. Half lift. Bow in half. Rise to stand. We're going to put all these pieces together for a few more sun salutations. So high heart. Reach your fingers up. Sink to chair. And then exhale, forward fold. Half lift. Bow. Rise. High heart. Raise the fingers up. Sink down. And then exhale, forward fold. Last one. Halfway lift. Fold. Rise, high heart, sink to chair, and then exhale on the forward fold. Take your half lift, bow in half, rise to stand, and then take opposite hand to opposite elbow above your head. Separate your feet, again, that hip width distance, and lean off to the right with your right elbow. Inhale, come back to center, and exhale, lean off to the left with your left elbow. And inhale, come back to center. Interlace the fingers behind your back. Start to peel your arms, your hands away from your glutes. Lift them away without leaning forward. So be mindful of that. Try not to lean forward. Just bring your hands away from your low back. And then lower them back down again. A couple more of these. Inhale. Exhale. Nice and slow. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Keep your arms the way they are. Bend your knees. This time we're taking a forward fold, raising the arms for some up and over the head. For others, you could just leave your arms at your low back. But fold the chest over the legs and let the arms drape up and over the head, if that's safe for your shoulders, of course. Weight moving forward into your toes. Knees can be as bent as you need them to be. Stay for one more breath. And release. Release your arms down toward the floor. Heel toe your feet together. Let's come to a seat. Back to our easy seat. Now I have my right ankle crossed in front of my left, which is very natural to me. So chances are you took the natural route on that first one. Let's uncross and go the other way so it doesn't feel as comfortable, okay? Always bringing harmony and balance to the body. So on both sides of the body. Rest your hands again at the knees, long in your spine. Belly in, locked in tight. Now we're twisting from the waistline over our right shoulder, trying to improve some of that range of motion in our neck and our spine. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist over your left shoulder. Trying to keep your hip bones forward. And again, moving from your waist and your mid back. One more. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the right. Come back to center. And exhale, twist to your left. On your in-breath, come back to neutral. And now as if you're pulling your knees toward the back wall, your heart, your sternum will lean forward. Go as far forward as you can. And ultimately, you could take your block or whatever you have at your disposal. You could rest your forehead on the block or a cushion or a pillow, or even stack one fist on top of the other and rest your forehead ultimately on that upper fist or whatever tool you have. So this is a great hip opener. This will also help lengthen your low back. And just breathe into those areas where you're feeling tension, tightness, soreness, but again, no pain. Take one more breath here. As you inhale, come back up, and then extend your legs forward. This one's called Paschimottanasana, or seated forward fold. Raise your arms high, reach up, and then catch your feet anywhere where you can catch them. You can bend your knees if you can't catch your feet. As you inhale, though, lengthen your spine, and as you exhale, pull your elbows apart. Again, your heart goes forward first, and then fold over your legs. So dynamically at first, Inhale, come back up to that flat back. And then as you exhale, see if each time you can go deeper on the forward fold. One more. Inhale, and this last one will hold. So hold that forward fold. Go as deep as you can. Don't worry about how straight or bent your knees are. I'd rather see your rib cage resting on your thighs than trying to struggle in order to get your legs straight. It's not necessary. We're looking for length in your spine, but those hamstring stretches will come automatically. And they're very stubborn. Hamstrings are very stubborn. They'll come along when they're ready. But repetition really helps. So these are all things that you guys can do at home on your own. Keep it simple. I believe in keeping this stuff simple. And the body will respond in due kind. And it'll take good care of you if you take good care of it. Take one more breath. On your inhale, lift up your chest. This time cross that left ankle in front of the right, or if you were right in front of the left, whichever the opposite is of what we just did. And then take your right arm out by your side, raise your left arm high, and bend your right elbow and lean off to the right. Tuck your chin in toward your left armpit. As you inhale, come back to center. Again, grow tall. Raise your right arm high first, and then begin your lean to the left. Back and forth with breath. Inhale, center. Exhale, lean over to the right. Maybe you can go a bit deeper each time. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, lean over to the left. Inhale, you're back to center. We're going forward again, so grab your knees. Lean forward first, and then begin your descent. Reverse your fists. If you had the right on top, reverse that. Again, to even you out. And resting that third eye back on whatever it is, your tool or your hands. It's a means of reconnecting with the intuitive eye, the space in between the eyebrows. Take one more breath here. All right, from here we'll come onto our backs. Once you come onto your backs, pull your knees in toward your chest. This is a great way to relieve some back tension. Grab your shins and just try to pull your nose in between your knees. And then release your head and your back. Hang on to your shins. Two more. Exhale, squeeze in tight. Inhale, release. Last one. Exhale. Inhale. Take your arms out to the side and simply let your knees drop over to the right, but you're looking to the left, keeping your left shoulder on the mat. Gentle little spinal twist and neck twist here. One more breath. Use your core power here to bring your knees back to center, and then exhale, let them drop to the left as you look over to the right. On your inhale, come back to center. Quickly raise your legs up toward the ceiling just to get them to drain before we come into Savasana, which is our rest. You can point and flex your toes. You can roll your ankles each direction. Bring some mobility into the ankles. While you're doing this, fan your toes, spread them wide. Give them space. All right, and one more squeeze. Nose into the knees, then a full body stretch. Your legs forward, your arms behind you. And then we'll set up for Savasana, which is rest. You want your arms down by your sides with your palms up. Allow your feet to drop open to the right and left. And you could place your left hand on your heart, your right hand on your belly. So those are two options. Hand on heart and belly, or arms down by your sides. Close your eyes and allow your body to assimilate what it just did. Allow things to register. That's how the body learns. Bring that breathing back to what we did in the beginning, the mindfulness of the breathing, where you can actually feel and experience each breath. If the mind starts to drift or wander, bring it right back to center, bring it right back to following your breath. So that's your barometer, the breath. And that continual action of bringing it back to the breath is meditation in and of itself. So for the next few minutes, I'll leave you in silence. If you'd like to continue with a more lengthy meditation, just mute us and stay as long as you'd like. Enjoy. Begin by wiggling through your fingers and toes. You want to awaken gently to keep the nervous system quiet and calm. Rock your head right and left, side to side. Gather your knees in toward your chest. Rolling to the right side is our cooling side. The left side is considered our warming side. So usually we roll to the right, but if you have any issues there, just simply roll to the left. And then meet us back in a seat, an easy seat, with hands joined at Anjali Mudra. Resting your thumbs right at third eye again, lifting up the chin. And we'll all bow together and say together, Namaste, everyone. Namaste. Good job. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a great day, and I hope that helps. We'll see you soon.